Then I went again.
Well, he said
Spiritual dimension.
How precious and how
I'm important to the world.
you have a family.
Everyone else was astonished.
Mrs. Rachel Fogelman has served as a shlucha to Worcester, Massachusetts for over 6 decades. In 1953, she led a group of women on a visit to New York and an audience with the Rebbe.
I mentioned to Rabbi Chodakov, one of the women is a nurse. And she was a woman who came from really a Hasidic family in Europe, but they were here in America, so the children were Yiddish, but not, she wasn't totally religious. And I brought her. She was one of my questioners. And I wanted to remember what the Rebbe said, and I jot down a few notes and tried to recall, as best as I could. The Rebbe noticed, and after the entire Sikha was over, the Rebbe looked at me and he said, "Sollst verschreiben auf English." Write it over in English. So I took time and I mailed it in. I sent it to the Rebbe. And I never heard, the Rebbe didn't answer. The Rebbe didn't say he received it. Rabbi Chodakov didn't say they received it. So I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. And I figured it wasn't good enough. I didn't do a good job. So, okay, finished. It's gone. Some 45 years later, I was at a wedding of one of my sister's children in New York. And, a child. And I noticed Yossi Jacobson standing in front of 770 speaking to my husband. And I approached, it was like an earnest conversation. That interests me. I want to know what he's saying too. So I approached and I heard him say, "But you surely must remember, it says on it, Raid to the Freien von Worcester." My husband says, "I don't remember." He says, "Don't you remember it's a sikha about a nurse and a doctor?" I said to Yossi, "I remember, I know that sikha." That was the sikha that I had written down and translated to English. And Yossi said, "We found this sikha after the Histalkus when we went through the papers." It was a sikha about, I brought the women, so the Rebbe spoke to us that the Torah is Dracheha Darchei Noam. A woman's nature is kind and good and gentle. And the Torah is in that way, speaks in that way. And that's why a woman has a special koyach to make even the most difficult situation in Yiddishkeit seem palatable and easy. And the Rebbe gave an example of a nurse. Remember I said I had brought a nurse? A nurse. The doctor can prescribe. The doctor writes out a prescription for the patient, but it requires a nurse to take that bitter medicine and see to it that it is swallowed, it is used, it is taken on time, and it becomes effective. And the Rebbe gave that Beispiel for that Yiddishkeit. When we don't understand it, sometimes it seems difficult or hard. But a woman in her home, a daughter, a wife, a mother, can make all of Yiddishkeit, Drocheha Darchei Noam, her ways are sweet, seem pleasant and palatable and beautiful. And that's the koyach, the special koyach that a woman has. It was published, Simon Jacobson published it then, and it came out at this time. The fact that the Rebbe kept it was the greatest acknowledgement of all.